I'm Teresa Rashid for EAG-TV. March 31, 2011, the Ohio governor signed Senate Bill 5 into law. The bill would reform collective bargaining for public employees, including teachers. It was scheduled to take effect July 1st, but the law has been put on hold because of a referendum petition which collected the necessary signatures to get the measure on the November ballot. But SB 5 has already had a positive effect for school districts in Ohio without even being law. It saved the Lordstown School District $140,000 and saved 2 teaching jobs. Mark McGrail is the president of the Lordstown School Board. He says without SB 5, union leaders would never have agreed to health insurance concessions, the district's biggest expense. Let me tell you what happened. The treasurer of the Lordstown School District gave the board a 5-year budget projection that included losses of $400,000 in the first year, totaling more than $1 million by year 5. On top of that, the district's insurance company was going to raise their premium costs by $200,000. It was the insurance company that told the district they could save about $90,000 a year by creating a spousal exclusion. The district went to the union. McGrail tells us what happened.
Initially, the discussions took almost, I would say, 2.5, almost 3 years. But initially, the union leadership who we were speaking with was not willing to concede the spousal exclusion. Because one of the union officials even told me that they were concerned about the passage of SB 5 and what it meant to them, and that they were willing to renegotiate their contract and include the spousal exclusion. And that all occurred just because of the passage of SB 5. I think the thing that probably impacted the students the most was cuts to teaching staff. You know, there was a music teacher, a librarian, physical education teacher, social studies teacher, family, consumer, and science teacher, which is home ec, library aide. How the concern by the union leadership helped us, caused by the passage of SB 5, was that we were able to negotiate the spousal exclusion in our insurance package, which allowed us to bring back, at least, if my recollection is correct, 2 teachers. You don't lay off by merit or need. You lay off just strictly by who was the last hired. And unfortunately, you don't always let go the I don't know what the best word is, the least needed position. These 2 teachers were probably 2 of our more talented teachers that we were going to have to let go. What people need to understand is the way this has been presented by the opposition to SB 5 is this is an attack on employees, public employees, whether they're teachers, firemen, police officers, healthcare workers. It is not. Most of your government workers, and I think everybody will agree with this if you think about it. Most government workers provide, their services in an efficient, diligent manner. They earn every penny that they work for. So, this bill is not about denigrating their service as the opponents of this bill present it. In this environment today, you've got the president running around the country talking about jobs. This bill saves jobs and will save jobs in the future in the state of Ohio. Because if the bill does not pass, there's only 2 things that can happen. Either school districts and governments are going to have to raise taxes to maintain the level of services that they now provide, or if they can't raise taxes, they're going to have to cut services. Those are the only 2 things that can happen. One thing that people in the state of Ohio need to know is in the debate in the Senate and in the legislature in Ohio, the opponents to this bill, and even to this day, offered no alternate amendments or legislation to the bill.
McGrail says SB 5 will allow districts to more effectively operate in a way that's producing a good educational environment for students. Voters in Ohio go to the polls November 8th on Senate Bill 5. Teresa Rashid, EAG-TV.